We're going to run through the babies here. All the babies, A to Z. Well, we don't have any. Oh, we do have a Z. No. A to Z. Ailsund trained really well at the open house, 1 mile on 2:12. She's ready to go around 2:08. I did not take her to Mohawk. And remember, she stood in her stall when she had that curb issue. Her curb looks great. She's down in Kevin's barn now. And Ailsund, I better change that also. She's down in Kevin's barn now. And Ailsund looks good. She's going to train right around 2:7 this week. 2:7, 2:8, maybe 2:6. Kevin will probably take her over to Mohawk sometime this week. And Taros leg's starting to look good. We're going to take him up to the pool, put him in the pool, put him on the walker, maybe jog him a little bit. His leg's starting to seal up pretty good, exactly where we need him to be. Arctic Force went a huge mile yesterday, 2:4 and 3 last quarter and 28 and 2 last half, 59 seconds. Arctic Force looked great. Danny went with him. I thought he looked tremendous. Beach Boutique was good, mile around 2:4 or so, 28 and a piece. Sylvain said, if anything, a little pinchy on that left front. We're going to put a little set of razor pads on her up front. She's a big filly, but she's got little feet up front, so I'm going to put, we're going to get some razor pads on her. Beach Bum BB finished behind 4 of the fillies. They're really scooting on the end of it, but she had a little trickle of snot in her nose after, so we're going to probably keep a real close eye on her this week. Start on some XDem, make sure she eats all her breakfast, supper, lunch. She has a good week. Bend Over trained well, mile and 2:9 with Sometimes Things Happen. He looked really, really good. Bottle Red, 2:5, I believe, last quarter and 28 and 3. She was right with Beach Boutique finishing up. Couldn't get by her, but paced right along with her at the wire. Brush Cut. He couldn't quite blow by Arctic Force, but they were screaming the last 16th. They looked really, really good. Very happy with what I saw from Brush Cut. Cabernet, she's about to start back. Just got to run up to the university one more time, get an EKG on her and see what her heart rate looks like, see how her heart looks. There was no suspicion of any damage done, but we want to make sure she's ready to start back. So she's going up real quick on Tuesday. Canadian Titans really turned the corner. She looked great at the open house, didn't she? Trained great again yesterday. Mario's crew said, obviously, Mario and I were at Mohawk, but Gislin and John Downey went with them at Mario's end, said they were great. Harry told me Capistrano trained good again. She's another couple of weeks from going any fast miles. Cheatin' Dixie. She looked all right yesterday, but her knees look sore. They look like they bother her. We're going to do a little work on her knees this week. See if we can get her under control. I'm not sure if just time will do it, but we will see. Classic Con. Trained great. Classic Con. I don't know whether that's a pin or something. Classic Con trained great. 2:6 last quarter and 29 seconds. You can see a little snippet of the video. He's the horse with his knees taped up just in behind. I forget which two were sitting 1-2, but they look good. And Classic Con, Mario was very, very happy with. Classy Will, we sold. Oh, well, Will's left the building. I wish them good luck with him. He was really, we were on the fence about him. I really didn't think we'd sell him, but we did. Compass Rose DC, probably one of the biggest shocks so far of the season. We've had a few where Sebastian Yu jumped up and a couple of the other horses jumped up, Trafalgar and whatnot, but nobody surprised me as much as Compass Rose DC yesterday. 2:5 last quarter and 28 and 1. And Louis Philippois told me she was awesome yesterday. Nobody said that about Compass Rose DC yet. So very happy with her. Crazy Mission went a mile 2:6. Sylvain said he was very good. So I'm glad we changed our mind and did not send him to the sale. He looked great yesterday. Kevin told me, don't believe me, just watch train great at Tomiko. He looked really, really good. Enjoying My Life's back on her regimen of training. She's probably ready to go a mile and 2:12 this week at some point. Enduring Strength, they said he made a little break without the hobbles. They come in and put the hobbles on him. He was great. Not that shocking. Can't fool around with the Angus's, boy. They got to be the same all the time. So Enduring Strength trained good after he had his proper equipment on. Excellent Nation finished up right behind, was it Beach Boutique or, no, right behind Arctic Force and Brush Cut, right in behind them, and that little snippet was Excellent Nation. He looked good. Fox Valley Shazam wasn't as good yesterday at Mohawk. A few little changes got to be made with her. She's right on the tip of being able to be pushed hard. She's close. She's close. Forged in Fire, again, he's going to be pretty well done for the season. He had that operation on his throat. He's going up to the university to make sure everything's all right on Tuesday. Quick little visit for him and Cabernet, and then that'll be it. They should be on their way. Well, that's not true. Forged in Fire is not going to be on his way for at least a month or so, but Cabernet should. Frontier Cruise apparently trained good yesterday. Tell you who didn't train good. One of the only ones that didn't at Mohawk. Fusspot. Kind of sucks. I don't know what's going on with her. We're really going to have to clamp down on her and get a real good look at her, because she did not look good yesterday. Just weak. It's not like her, isn't it? She just was one of our flashiest horses all year. I don't want to say it, but there was a filly last year that did the same thing. I hope she doesn't turn into her. Anyway, Giddy Up Max trained well. Harry put a shadow roll on him. He thought he was seeing everything at the track the week before. Certainly not going to dispute it. I wasn't sitting behind him, but a few little changes made with him. He's starting to look real good. Globetrotting was awesome at Mohawk. You guys didn't get to see it. Really Blue Chip just got up by her, but Globetrotting came first over at the 5/8 pole. She was first over all the way around the last turn, took over the lead from Libero Hanover late in the stretch, and Really Blue Chip picked them both off. But all the heavy lifting done there, one by Libero Hanover to cut it out, and two, first over Globetrotting, but both looked really good. Really Blue Chip was awesome, but Globetrotting did a lot of heavy lifting yesterday. Harness AM was good. She finished up in behind the pack on the last quarter in 28 and a bit, but looked good. We'll push her this week. She'll be schooling a week from Monday. Havana Unana did not make it over to the track. Just want to go easy with her. Once in a while, her knees seem a little warm. We're probably going to put some polyglycan in her knees this week, and she can go over and train on Saturday when a couple of these other horses do. She won't be ready to school for a week after that. So we might train Saturday and school the following Friday or something. She'll catch up in between, but not a big deal. Lots of time from her. For her, I think the middle of July is her first stake race. I'll Play It Alone. Fastest last quarter of yesterday easily was I'll Play It Alone. He was flying. James comes off and said, he's really hard to steer. It's like steering a dump truck. He gets on a line and he gets stupid. We had him looked at. There's nothing there. He's just a little goofy. And, you know, I looked at James. I looked him right in the eye. I stopped for a second and I said, you're going to have to deal with it, because we're not putting any more equipment on him. It seems like the more you put on him, the more ignorant he gets. He's an ignorant little horse, but he can fly. James comes up and he goes, he is scary fast, but extremely hard to steer. Well, that's why I get paid the big bucks. So I'll Play It Alone. We'll tinker around a little bit, but I think he's one of those horses where, you know, when he's agitated, he's at his best. So I'm not going to change too much. We're going to try and do the best we can. I can't say how bad he is to steer, because I haven't sat behind him other than a few times. When I sat behind him at Tamiko, yeah, he was on the right line a bit, but I thought he was okay. Yesterday, James said he was hard to steer, but can fly. So we'll inches with him. No major changes, just inches with him. We'll see how he schools next week. What else? Inland Beach trained good at the farm yesterday. You're seeing a trend here for the most part. The only Ontario horses to go over the track yesterday, horses that we wanted to get to the big track, or horses that need a little more polishing. Utopian put a couple of steps in at the farm, so we took him to Mohawk. He's a little off right front. We're going to get him looked at this week. Fox Valley Shazam gets a little pacey in the corners here. She was a little pacey at Mohawk yesterday. Going to make a few little changes with her, and she'll be going back over this week. We know there's a ton of talent there. We just want to make sure we get it right. So Fox Valley Shazam will go over again this week. She may not be in that schooling group, but we'll get her trained up hard and keep working on her. And then McPherson Thunder, we got to let his hobbles out and get him to the bigger track. He actually looked good yesterday, 2.6 last quarter and 29. Best I've seen him in quite a while. Anyway, Inland Beach, again, none of the Ontario horses went, other than those three, went to the track. Inland Beach trained good from what I've been told. Jailhouse Master looked really, really good. He acted up in the first set, and then we changed his gear, sent him back out. Lights out, very good. 2.5 last quarter, 28-3. Very happy with the big colt. Johan wrapped up. Now, for those of you who were in attendance, you expected Johan to look good, but the horse that was hunting him down the whole way down the lane, didn't expect her to look that good. That was Compass Rose DC. Johan finished up with a bow in his neck, very strong, but Compass Rose DC was coming. And she looked good, but Johan looked great. James said quiet, felt very professional. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to see. Just for me and you, Felix ended up going with her. She went to kick Louis yesterday. I've never seen her act like that. She went on the track and almost kicked. So Louis said, maybe somebody else can go with her. So Felix went with her. There was no problems. I've never seen her act bad. She went out and trained great. 2.5 last quarter, 28 and a piece. Knocked down, drag out. These horses were rocking. Yours if you want it. I said Compass Rose DC was the biggest surprise. I guess that would be a lie. According to James and James's watch and the other 4 drivers out there, yours, if you want it, went a mile in like 2, 3, and 4, 27 and 3, 27 and 4 on the end of it. That is kind of an unbelievable mile in last quarter for May 18th. Probably a little more than he needed, but he's a bit of a goof. And horses like him, they only respect work. So that was impressive. In that set was knockdown, drag out. She went a mile in 2:4 and a bit, 2:5-ish, 28 seconds on the end of it. Very, very happy with her. She's getting it, though. As Mario said, very quiet, reserved, did her work well. That's very important. She's not a big, huge filly. We can't have her worrying and washing out in the paddock in the post parade. We need her to understand she needs to stay composed, and she gets it. So very happy with her. Libero Hanover trained awesome. Danny put him on the front. He was just picked off by Globetrotting and Really Blue Chip, and they are no slouches. Libero Hanover, they trotted 28 apiece on the end of it also, and all 3 of those front 3 looked awesome. The 2 that were just a little bit back looked good also, but Libero Hanover, awesome looking colt. McPherson Thunder, as I said before, that was the best I've seen him, 2:6, 29 seconds on the end of it. Let his hobbles out a bit. He's going to be doing work every week from now on over at Mohawk, which is fine. Just want to bring the best out in this colt and see what he looks like. Marzank Hanover, as I said in an earlier video, right knee had some lines in it, left splint. We worked on both. Going to go easy with her for a couple of weeks, and then it'll be full speed ahead. Master Treaty, he sold. Master Treaty and McNugget went to the sale. Little undersold, a little less than I thought we'd get, but at the end of the day, penny saved is a penny earned, as they say, and unfortunately Master Treaty and McNugget were not our best horses. Miss Brampton Beast trained well at the farm yesterday. That's not shocking. She's been lights out for months and months, forever, since we started with her. Miss Mischief Maker finished up right behind Libero and them, looked good. Now, I haven't talked to James yet. I want to talk to James about her. She missed a little time. Remember, she cut her leg. Then before that, she was a little off right hind. She looked good and sound yesterday. She needs to do a little more work at the farm. Not hard work, just a little more work at the track. She looked good. She's going to be schooling next week. Muscle Chrome, they said she trained good. Now, whether she makes it or not, we'll see if her knees hold up. She's a lot like Cheatin' Dixie. She's not as bad as Cheatin' Dixie. Cheatin' Dixie's knees hurt her, but they're both game. They're both tough, and that's why they're still here. So Muscle Chrome will keep working on her. She trained well yesterday, apparently. Nancy Allison was a little pacey, but did her work well yesterday. James asked for one little shoeing change. We're going to make that shoeing change on Tuesday, see if she's any better next week. Need your opinion. She doesn't need any shoeing changes. Need your opinion was lights out again yesterday. Kevin loves this filly. You don't like this filly, you just don't like horses. So that's pretty much just how it is. Need your opinion. She is a Workosaurus Rex. She's a small filly with a big engine in her. Really, really like that filly. Olympic Hopeful trained awesome yesterday. 2:10 last half, 1:1 last quarter, and 29 apiece. Mario said she was flawless, did everything well. Overdue Mission now, the other side. Mario let Overdue Mission's hobbles out. Told him I was going to have to assault him with the blue club if he did that again. You cannot let out Overdue Mission's hobbles. Made a little break in the straightaway. That's easy enough to fix. She was good otherwise, minded her manners, and finished up well, so that's fine. Path of Totality was looking at everything. Sylvain went with her. She made a little break. She was okay after. Got to make a few little more changes with her, and then I think she'll be fine. Pine Creek was sold. Really Blue Chip, one of the better looking horses of the day. Louis Philippe Waugh was really enamored with both her and Compass Rose DC. She looked awesome. Really Blue Chip. It's funny because when you sit behind her, she's a little narrow over the hips. She's a little small. She's not very exciting looking until that is you turn on her engine. And then it's like a Corvette's engine stuffed in a Volkswagen Beetle. And she doesn't look like a super horse. She does on the track. But sitting behind her when you're jogging her around, she's a little frail, a little small. You know, is she a nice horse? Halfway down the lane, you can tell what kind of horse she is. She was awesome. Louis really, really likes her. Rockin' Out Loud was sold. Rooney Blue Chip made a little break, so and said he thought his hobbles were a bit tight and he was looking around a bit. He was really good after. This colt's going to need 2 or 3 trips over there, but he has looked very, very good. Rose Run Valiant, another mistake. We had a couple of horses make breaks, so we jammed some other horses in one set. Wayne Prescator went with Rose Run Valiant just because we needed a driver, and he doesn't know the horse very well, and you got to get his attention. He went out there and let him float around and be stupid. He looked at something, made a little break. He looked fine after. Rose Run Valiant's ready to go a pretty good mile. Rose Run Versatile shouldn't be ready to go a pretty good mile. She missed a lot of time, didn't she? But she was good yesterday, 2:10. I'd like to see her go 3 or 4 miles more in 2:10. And if she starts putting on her weight and shining up, she can keep going. If she loses any weight, we're going to hit her with some grass for a couple of weeks. But Rose Run Versatile looked very good also. Sebastian Ray, a lot of people noticed he wasn't on the list yesterday. Anthony, why? That's a Pennsylvania horse. Well, our clients that own Sebastian Ray don't want him leaving Canada. He's paid up into every major stake race in Canada. Remember, the Breeders' Crowns in Canada, the Wellwoods in Canada, the Define the World, not a big stake, but big enough for him, is in Canada. He's paid up into a lot of Canadian stake races. So Sebastian Ray, no need to get him ready early. There's nothing for him. He's not leaving Canada. So Sebastian Ray was not there yesterday. Another question, why wasn't Sebastian Yu over at Mohawk? Well, he's fast as hell. And I thought if we brought him over there and I couldn't go with him, somebody going 2-2 with him. It was too early for that. Just chill out yesterday. He went a mile and a half at Tamiko. We'll take him over and school him next week. But Sebastian Yu obviously is a horse that everybody's paying attention to now, as they should. He looked tremendous at the open house. Just a nice horse. Sometimes things happen. Garnet, no breaks. Not a break. Garnet even missed him training. You missed your own horse training? Come on. Now, why would that do that? Temperature. Well, I was concerned. I thought that if I kept talking in this heat, imagine 29 degrees, beautiful day, in this heat, that my phone would crash. And sure enough, it crashed. So I was talking about Garnet missing his horse training. Garnet! 2 of them left on the track training, bend over, and sometimes things happen. Steve thought that maybe he got up to beat him, but I can see in the video, it does not look like he got bend over up past James with sometimes things happen. I was very happy with both those colts. I think they said they went in 2:10 off a half an 8. Pretty good mile for both of them. Very, very happy to see both those colts doing well. Horse that was awesome. Spend that money. We talked about yours if you want it, and how incredible he was, and how James raved about him all day, and how it was really hard to believe he went that fast. But you can see in the video, he's really trotting. A horse right behind him, let's spend that money. So I know in Ohio, I'd said to everybody, geez, I don't know what we're going to be doing in Ohio this summer. Yours if you want it really didn't show up till late because he's crazy. Spend that money had made breaks. Globetrotting had made breaks. They're not breaking now. They look awesome now. Spend that money was tremendous. The horse that did make a break yesterday. Spirit of D.O. James thought he let the hobbles out a little bit. I said, don't screw around with the hobbles until after we get a nice flat line onto them. Anyway, not the end of the world. She'll be over there this week schooling. I'll make sure that the hobbles are not too long on her. She's a big filly, but she does enjoy a tighter hobble. She does get out of gear sometimes, and she really uses the hobbles in a smart way. Nice filly. No issues with her. I assume she'll school just fine next Monday. Sunshine and Shade trained well at the farm yesterday. All the Ontario horses I got great reviews from both John Downey and Gislin that went with them, and the other people that had trained them yesterday. They all said they went well. Susie K, watch the videos close. You see Susie K, I had Sylvain. I said, just go with this filly. Louis went with somebody else's horse that was at the paddock. I said, can you go with this filly? He goes, all right. I said, she's okay. He looked at her. She stands off a little bit, and she's small, and he goes, really? I said, you're going to like this filly. Okay. She's flying up the inside of the wire, like 29 seconds on the end of it, a mile and 2.6, 2.7. And he comes off and he goes, you're right, she's a trooper. She's a nice little filly. I love Susie K. She reminds me a lot of like Need Your Opinion and those types of horses that really get it done just because they want to. They've made up their mind they're going to be racehorses, and come hell or high water, they both will. And Susie K looked good. Tiamo Hanover I didn't take over to Mohawk. He'll probably go over to Mohawk next week. Go mile and 2.4, 2.5 with him. He looked good last week. I just didn't want to make sure we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Wanted to go easy with him this week, and we did. Timo Dazzle trained good at the farm, as I'm told. Now, Timo Kazam, I didn't put him on the injury list because he's not technically injured. He got a little pinched nerve or something before the open house and didn't go in the open house. We've been jogging him ever since. He looks better, but not super comfortable still. It's the weirdest thing. The vet thought it might have been EPM, so we've been treating him for EPM. Not a big deal, but it's odd. So we're going to continue to treat him. I'd like to say that he'll train a little bit on Wednesday, but that will be day-to-day. He's on the day-to-day injury reserve. He's not injured, but he's on the injured reserve right now. We skipped over Trafalgar. How'd I do that? Trafalgar trained great this week. She's really, really nice. Louis Philippe Wad had nothing but nice things to say about her. Asked multiple times about her during the week. He really likes this Dally filly, and as he should. She shows a ton of potential. Yours If You Want It, we talked about him. Top star of the day. Really surprising that a horse in May 18th has that kind of speed, that kind of power. Watch the replay. Watch how James has a huge hold on him going under the wire. This colt's got some kick to him. A little crazy. Not sure the hamster runs in the same direction all the time as he should in the wheel upstairs, but he can dance. He's fast. Utopian trained well at Mohawk. Little off right front, though. Going to get him looked at this week. Watch Ev. Kevin said he trained well at the farm and looked good. Wiggle Delight. They said he trained well. Willpower Fashion looked good. Danny Quarter pulled him to the front. He got picked off at the wire. Needs a little more work. The big guy. I'm going to put a new set of hobbles on him next week. Really going to push on him. Schooling. Zeb Sunshine. He had a little scare with Zeb this week. I'd sent an email out saying he was lame. He was lame the day after the open house. Crippled. Almost too lame. And he was too lame. What it was a pus pocket in his foot. We had him up to the vet, had the vet go all over Zeb Sunshine, and sure enough, she said, yeah, he's got a big pus pocket in that foot. Took the shoe off, poulticed the foot up, pus pocket blew out. Put a little window bar. We've talked about window bars before. Put a little window bar on that foot to take the pressure off the area that the pus pocket blew out. Sound as $1. I don't believe he trained yesterday. I didn't ask Mario, but I don't believe he trained yesterday. He'll be back training on Wednesday. So that's them all. That's everything that took place. What a great day of training yesterday. Over half the stable went over, mostly all Americans. They all look great. The Ontario horses look great by all accounts here in Ontario. Things are starting to look good. We had a rough go of it, haven't we? A little bit of a rough patch of luck, but could always be worse. I'll heal. Sunshine's Finest will heal. Everybody will heal. We'll get at it this summer. Not that long now, is it? Arvika races Thursday at Yonkers. Those of you who want to tune in, I'm really excited to see how that goes. I've been talking to Scott DiDomenico. I went to the barn today, and Scott said, well, she's shipping on Monday, racing Thursday. Can you jog her up? I can't. Amy did. Amy jogged her, said she was great, looked great. I was very excited to see Arvika and happy to see Amy back in the bike, so to speak. So, great day. Finally got some heat, for the love of God. Crappy day to have a broken arm, but a great day to be in Ontario. 29 degrees right here in my driveway, in my office. So, talk to you guys soon. A lot going on this week. A lot every week from here on in. But we have all the Ohio breds racing this week in overnights, I believe. Arvika's racing in Pennsylvania. White Tiger qualified. Stonebridge Simba's in to go. All the wheels are starting to move now. So, be talking to you guys throughout the week. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I know I did for the most part. As good as I could have anyway. And everything is well on planet Earth right now today. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.